Hi, I'm Oliver, Principal of the International Macrobiotics School, and I want to talk briefly about fibromyalgia, because this is a problem which I see increasingly among clients. So first of all, I want to talk about what is fibromyalgia. The origin of the word from, I don't know, Latin or Greek. Fibro means the fibrous tissues in the body. My means muscles, and algia means pain. So basically it's pain in muscles. So it's not just pain in one muscle, like having a frozen shoulder or a strain. Generally, there's pain through a lot of muscles in the body, maybe shoulders, arms, legs, torso. And it's kind of unexplained. It's not for any reason. It's not because one's had, a fall or an accident. Sometimes it may start after people have been through, a very stressful period in their life, or something sudden happening might just kind of initiate it, start the symptoms, or make them worse. And I'll explain why that is in a minute. But it's these kind of general muscle aching in the body. Sometimes, but it tends to go along with other symptoms. Very often it goes along with feeling of weakness, muscle weakness, tiredness, and also having a woolly brain, fuzzy brain, poor memory. But from a Western medical point of view, it's not kind of understood why that is. Then the causes. Western medicine doesn't understand the causes. It's looking at the kind of nervous, muscular junctions and thinking there's something wrong there. Why is the body getting these sensations of pain going to the brain? Fibromyalgia really is an example of what you could call a functional problem. So it's very difficult to find anything structurally or chemically wrong in the body. And that makes it difficult for Western medicine to really understand what's happening or the causes. But because macrobiotics and Oriental medicine focuses a lot on how the body functions, probably less understanding of how the physical body works, physical chemical body works, but has a very good understanding of the functioning of the body and things that affect it. It actually has a very good understanding of what creates problems like fibromyalgia. What I've seen repeatedly, people with fibromyalgia, this is a sign of deep depletion in the body. And basically, the muscles don't have enough ki, chi, or life energy in them to function well. And then even just almost no use at all, even for some people just standing up, the muscles start aching because there's not enough nutrition there. We are nourished by physical nutrients, which we get from our food. We're actually also nourished by our environment, especially by the air we breathe. And spiritually, we can be nourished. And so our muscles, like every other part of our body, not only need these physical nutrients, but they also need chi or ki or life energy in order to function. So with people that develop fibromyalgia, if one, just on examination from a macrobiotic Oriental medicine examination, where one could feel ki and feel what's happening in different organs on an energetic functional level, always big depletion. And if you look at what people have been doing in their life for maybe a few years, but very often 5, 10 or more years before they develop fibromyalgia, which sometimes goes along with chronic fatigue. People with chronic fatigue very often experience fibromyalgia. But some people will have fibromyalgia, but not especially chronic fatigue. One will generally see lifestyle and foods that are very depleting. It may be long periods of overwork, long periods of working, plus looking after family, plus looking after aged parents, etc. Maybe a lot of stress, and also eating foods which are very depleting for the body. In macrobiotics, we would call these more expansive, more yin foods. Caffeine, alcohol, sugar, especially. So that means an awful lot of soft drinks, cakes, biscuits, desserts, breakfast cereals. 3/4 of the food on supermarket shelves contains sugar because people have so got into the habit of having that sweet taste. In macrobiotics, we don't use any refined sugar whatsoever. Caffeine also is the kind of mild drug of our society, which at first stimulates your energy, but long-term drains it, because actually it's not giving us energy, it's just bringing the energy from deep in the body, from our energy reserves, which in Oriental medicine is seen as being in our kidneys and adrenal glands. It brings that energy up and outwards quite fast, so we feel a burst of energy. But if we do that again and again and again, then eventually we experience depleted kidneys. So I think the whole situation with coffee in modern society is very funny. There's such a big dependence on coffee, yet so many people are feeling tired. So coffee does not give you long-term energy and stamina. It does the opposite. It drains it. I'm not talking about maybe having one coffee a week or just occasionally or for fun or whatever, but I'm just talking about having, dependency, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus cups a day. So we're pretty addicted to these fast energy stimulants in modern society, and food-wise, they are really a primary cause of fibromyalgia. With fibromyalgia, in terms of going a bit more into Oriental medicine and organs, practically always find that the kidney energy, which is our store of energy in the body, as well as helping the kidneys and bladder to work, is very depleted, often the spleen and maybe the lung as well. And so one of the interesting things about Oriental medicine is because it's looking more functionally, it's very good at understanding why people get groups of symptoms, which Western medicine finds difficult to cope with because it just looks at a particular part of the body. Fibromyalgia, okay, it's something happens to the muscles. Why would somebody have brain fog? Why would somebody feel physically drained? Why would somebody feel depressed? Well, in Oriental medicine, all of these things come from our deep energy store from the kidney energy. They're supplying energy to the whole body, including the muscles. I know that's not a usual thing, a correlation between kidney energy and muscles. Usually it's more spleen and liver. But if the kidney energy becomes really low, then the muscles do really lack energy. And the kidney energy is also seen as nourishing our nervous system and our brains. And you can tangibly feel if people's kidney energy is very low, you put the hands on the head, you can just feel there's not much qi in the brain. And the brain needs qi in order to work. And if there's not much qi there, then the brain just doesn't work very well. We can't think well, we don't remember things. We get exhausted by trying to think for long periods of time. Also, our kidney energy gives us positivity, motivation, courage. And if the kidney energy becomes weak, we feel flat, joyless, depressed, down, just kind of all the time. So all the main symptoms of fibromyalgia are seen as really coming from one imbalance in the body. So what can we do about it? I've seen many people heal fibromyalgia, but it tends to take time because it's a problem which comes more from a deficiency. And it takes time to rebuild our energy. Sometimes problems come more from tension in the body, that can be, or excess, and that can be quicker to solve, to change. But when a problem comes from deficiency, it can take longer. So first of all, people need to make lifestyle changes. They need to be putting less energy out. I know this can be difficult for people. People often have responsibilities for work and family and so on. For many people, many of the clients I see have the emotional habit of prioritizing nourishing other people above nourishing themselves. And if you have this pattern, this is a good recipe for burnout and your body becoming depleted over time. So there might be an emotional learning that you are as important as everybody else, and you deserve to be nourished and receive and looked after just the same as everybody else. You look after other people well, and you deserve to be looked after as well. If you are bad at receiving, if someone says, hey, I'll do the washing up for you, I'll cook a meal, you know, I want to help you out in some way, and you say, oh, no, don't bother. That's a sign that you can't receive nourishment from other people, and you need to change that. Because if you have fibromyalgia, then you need to get more energy in the body. You need to say, when someone says, oh, I'll do the washing up, I'll cook a meal, you say, yes, thank you so much. That would be wonderful. I'm going to go and sit down, put my feet up, maybe have a little nap while you do that. Because that's what you need. You need rest, which is going to nourish you, help build your energy up. Don't over-exercise. In modern society, it's thought, well, exercise is good for you, therefore more exercise must be better. But for someone who's depleted, more exercise will make them worse because it'll use up the energy and deplete them further. Very light exercise, like just doing some gentle stretches, nothing too strenuous, just moving the body, doing some do-in exercises, which we teach here, and you can find on our YouTube channel. Qigong can be really useful, because the trouble is when we're inactive, our blood, lymph, qi flow, digestion can stop moving well. So we just need a little bit of exercise to get all of that moving, but don't overdo it. As much sleep and rest as possible. And then food-wise, ideally, work towards no caffeine, no refined sugar, no alcohol, temporarily while you're healing yourself. No tropical fruits, no fruit juices, no spices. Use herbs, but not spices. Yeah, really cutting those out. And the foods which are going to help build your energy are whole grains, especially short grain brown rice, millet, barley, spelt, buckwheat, quinoa, etc. Lots of root vegetables, well-cooked root vegetables, roasted vegetables, stews, beans as well are very helpful. So bean and vegetable stews. Sea vegetables, you may not have eaten sea vegetables before. Using some kelp, put some kelp in with your beans. In stews, it adds a lot of minerals, which are strengthening for the body. Soups are also very good. Broth soups. This is more clear soup with the vegetables in. Very good to put a bit of seaweed in again. It's a thin one like wakame or dulse. And you can season the soup with, in macrobiotics, we tend to use shoyu or tamari soy sauce or miso, but you could also just use sea salt or herb salt, just that broth soup. And some fish, shellfish, can also be very useful at getting more qi. They're more dense foods. They have more energetically. They're more dense. Help get more energy into the kidneys. Of course, you're probably going to want some bit of sweetness as well. So a bit of comforting food. So first of all, get this from vegetables, from eating sweet vegetables, long cooked sweet vegetables, steamed sweet potato, baked, roasted parsnips, carrots, sweet potatoes, beetroot. Try and avoid the nightshades, or don't have very much nightshades, potatoes, tomatoes, aubergines, and peppers, because they are more weakening and rather than building, more relaxing rather than building. So eat sweet vegetables. You can make purees, vegetable purees, and also eat, have a few desserts made with more temperate fruits, apples, berries, pears, plums, etc. But don't overdo it, because fruit is watery, more cooling. So we need a little bit of that sweetness, but too much, again, will weaken the body. So I hope that gives you a good overview. You know, I've seen a lot of people heal their fibromyalgia, but we're looking more at, you know, getting an improvement over 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. It can really take time to build those inner reserves, but it can definitely happen through dietary, lifestyle, and nutritional changes. Of course, if you would like some personal help, I give consultations or come along to some classes or check out our online cooking and other classes at the International Macrobiotics School. Okay, go well.